Jay and the Americans were an American pop-rock band formed in Queens, New York, in the 1960s. The group achieved significant success during the mid-1960s with their catchy melodies, harmonious vocals, and infectious energy. Led by lead singer Jay Black, the band's distinctive sound and charismatic performances made them one of the most popular acts of their era, earning them a devoted fanbase and numerous chart-topping hits. The origins of Jay and the Americans can be traced back to the late 1950s when two high school friends, Jay Black, real name David Blatt, and Kenny Vance, real name Kenneth Rosenberg, formed a vocal duo called the Empires. Inspired by the doo-wop and rock and roll music of the time, the Empires began performing at local clubs and talent shows, honing their skills as singers and entertainers. In 1961, the Empires changed their name to Jay and the Americans and recruited additional members Marty Sanders, Sandy Diane, and Howie Kustenbaum. The band's lineup was solidified, and they began recording and releasing music under the guidance of record producer Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller. Jay and the Americans quickly found success with their debut single, Tonight, which reached the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1961. The following year, they scored their first major hit with She Cried, a catchy pop ballad that reached the top 5 on the charts and solidified their reputation as rising stars in the music industry. Throughout the 1960s, Jay and the Americans released a string of chart-topping hits, including Only in America, Come a Little Bit Closer, and Cara MIA, which became signature songs for the band and helped establish them as one of the leading acts of the era. Their distinctive vocal harmonies, energetic stage presence, and infectious melodies endeared them to audiences around the world, earning them a reputation as one of the most beloved bands of the 1960s. In 1966, Jay and the Americans underwent a lineup change when Jay Black left the band to pursue a solo career. He was replaced by singer David Blatt, who adopted the stage name Jay Black and became the new lead vocalist of the group. Despite the change in personnel, Jay and the Americans continued to record and tour, enjoying continued success with hits like This Magic Moment and Walking in the Rain. By the end of the 1960s, the popularity of Jay and the Americans began to wane, as changing musical tastes and the rise of other genres like psychedelia and hard rock shifted the focus of the music industry. However, the band continued to perform and record throughout the 1970s and 1980s, releasing several albums and touring regularly to enthusiastic audiences. In 2006, Jay and the Americans were inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in recognition of their contributions to the music industry and their enduring legacy as one of the most successful vocal groups of the 1960s. Today, their classic songs continue to be cherished by fans of all ages, and their influence on popular music remains undeniable, ensuring that Jay and the Americans will be remembered as pioneers of the golden age of rock and roll.